Lost my cell phone, got the contacts, and would love to come and whoop my way. I woods ain't safe for you fake ass bitches. I came from them rags with more ammo than the riches. On my Dixie laying shit down.
Alright guys, I got another redneck report here for you. We got, on the agenda today, is going to be fishing. Well, not fishing, but my fishing stuff, because it's December in Michigan. So, I got my tackle box. Well, it's not a tackle box, it's actually a tackle backpack, and we'll go over that. Go over that a little bit. My stuff isn't labeled yet, so I need to do that. And I'm sitting like, and yeah, so we'll go through and label. That should be really fun, going through all my tackle and stuff. And yeah, I also got my phone fixed. That's awesome. I got a nice heavy duty case on her, you can see, and my home button's back. I'm not missing my home button. My facing camera isn't about to fall out. My other camera is working, so it's all operational. And yeah, it's pretty nice. It's actually been kind of hard because I'm used to doing the assisted touch on the iPhone, and now I get a home button and it's throwing me off a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but okay. Oh, and I also need to shave my face. It looks really bad. It's like getting way out of hand. Like if it was all like uniform, it might be okay, but like, oh my god, like, ugh, that's disgusting. So I actually should take care of that. Yeah, and I'm 5, so I drink Sunny D out of the little Go thing. Don't judge. They're really delicious. All right, yeah. So I got my Scotch tape. I got my Sharpie, and we'll go through and label some stuff. Label my little boxes that are in there, and it should be fun. Yeah. So let's get into it. So I got my Westfield fishing tackle backpack. I guess I ironed this moose jaw patch on when I was 12 or something. And then this is a med pack, and I have a little med pack on pretty much all my. I got it on my hunting bag, and I got it on a couple other, like my wrestling or like coaching whatever bag, and I keep a med kit with all my stuff. So let's have a look at what's inside. We'll start with, yeah, I guess we'll just start with the main compartment. It's a little, okay, so here I have terminal tackle. So I got bobber, swivels, weights, and a couple swim baits in here, like random crap that has to be organized. Actually, looks like I got a bag of Cincos and some other stuff in there. So put that down. Put that on the floor. We got a little bass box, a little specialty. Got some craws, a couple frogs, some trick worms, Cincos, spinnerbait, drop shot rigging. Here we got another soft bait that lives in the backpack. Got another soft bait box with a couple jig heads. Looks like some pliers and some scissors in there. I'll open them up so you guys can see. So that's it for the main compartment. Then we'll go down to the secondary lower compartment. Okay, so we got some spinners. I guess, yeah, like MEP style spinner baits. Got some jigs and some Ned rigs and some beetle spins. And then we have some topwater and hard baits. Looks like we got some jitterbugs, got some spooks, some chatter spooks, some jerk baits, a couple poppers, and some crankbaits. Pretty standard. And my fishing license is also in there. And then a bunch of soft baits, plastic baits. And then what else? There's some other junk rattling around. smaller front compartment. Yeah, we just got some random little split shot set, bobber, 4-pound test. What is this? It's like mono. Yeah, like 4-pound mono. And nothing, anything in here. Some bug spray towels or whatever. And bobber in the little drink compartment. Yeah, so that's it. So this is what I used to fish out of this for a while, and then I fished out of a Field and Stream, like a blue Field and Stream like tote style thing, because my dad put this up in the attic above my garage, and I didn't know where it was for like a year. I actually had just found it at the end of this last season, and had all my, just went through and kind of like loosely organized all my fishing tackle, and I threw it in this backpack because this backpack is what I fished out of, and it's the most efficient way to carry your tackle around. Like I don't think I'd ever buy a tackle box or like a tote thing like I had in there. Like I might show you guys that later, where you'll see it. Yeah, I'd only get backpacks. Like it's like a bicycle backpack. I don't know. Probably don't even have to go with this brand Westfield. Just go and get a fishing backpack. It's so much easier than all that. And I have an itch on my hand in between my fingers, and that's so annoying. Alright. So there. We'll put all that down. Alright. Now that's good. I think I'm going to go through and label all these boxes. So this is the soft plastic. It's got some pliers, scissors in there. And probably these are... Oh my gosh, that hurts and itches so bad. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. So, you guys can see for yourself all the little stuff in there. The little dividers, pliers, scissors, worms, ribbon tails, a couple jigs with worms and creature baits on them, and then we got some odds and ends. Some of these fish jigs that don't seem to work. Like I haven't caught anything off of these. And then Zincos, and then this contraption. And yeah. I don't know what should I label this as. If I can figure out where this tape starts. Alright. I keep a razor around. Don't judge. I don't do coke or anything. Alrighty. Cool. Here's the thing. Like, if I had the resources and the space, I would do all swim bait box, and all worm box, all single, but I'm not rich. Nor do I have... What is going on with this thing? We'll just call it... Yeah. You know what? I'll just call it the soft bait box. I'll make sure everything looks nice and clean. Cut it with the razor. Oh, yeah. So that nice thick Scotch tape. And then we'll do... This will be the soft bait box. Hopefully this Sharpie works too. There we go. Soft baits. So I'm basically gonna go through all those boxes and we'll label them. Bass box. There's our terminal tackle. These are our Ned rigs. Spinners. Clean. Oh. Beautiful. Hard baits. So let's actually go through. I think that'd be fun. Actually going through all my, not every single thing, but we'll go through what I have in my tackle box, and what I think works the best, and what I've actually caught fish on. Okay. So, starting with hard baits. This is a giant, like chatter spook. And this kind of spins around. How would I work this? This is an older bait. I don't think you can really buy these anymore. It's kind of stopped. These spin through the water and they're kind of like a whopper plopper kind of deal. So I would run this like a whopper plopper. And then you got kind of like another top water. If I can get it unhooked from the rest of them. Buzz bait. See that? You see the big buzz bait right here? That's a nice big old buzz bait. If I can get it unhooked, I'll show you guys. Oh, lighting's terrible. Because I actually inherited a bunch of these. Like, this is what I've caught a majority of my of bass on in these kinds of lures, is like this, just this little frog pattern, kind of whopper plopper. I have in here. So here's a deeper diving crank. This is a crankbait that I've trolled with a craw crankbait. Pretty realistic shape. Craw crankbait. Haven't caught anything on him, probably because I don't really use it. And here's a 3-segment jointed minnow that I'm yet to catch anything on. Here's a jitterbug. Caught a couple good ones on the yellow. And then a couple square bill crankbaits. Caught a nice one on him. Square bill crankbait. Golden, pretty decent sized popper. I catch a majority of my topwater fish on poppers. Silver walking bait or spook. If I can hold them right so you can see them. So that's a nice little walking spook bait. Caught a lot of fish on him. And then I got some jerk baits. I have 2 really big jerk baits. I have 1 medium-sized jerk bait, and I have a couple little itty-bitty jerk baits. Now these, I've actually caught my best fish on is those smaller jerk baits. And I was actually in Lake St. Clair this season. I mean, I guess this summer, and I caught 3, almost 4 pound smallie on, I don't know if you can see, but this tiny little jerkbait right here is nice and blue and silver jerkbait. So those are my hard baits. That was a really crappy presentation. Then I got Ned rigs, which I almost never use. So yeah. And then I got some spinners. So I've caught creek chubs and a brownie on actually everything in here. So there's anything from like yellow little MEP style spinners. So everything from little bitty guys like this here, like this guy in here, to some of the medium size, all the way up to some of these big old like wooden old school spinner baits, couple spoon style baits. Like I used to use MEP spinners to catch bass in a local pond, but I don't really do that anymore. It doesn't really yield that big a fish when you use like a number 4 MEPs. I got my terminal tackle because one of the guys that I used to fish with a lot, we'd go fishing up in Houghton Lake, and he wasn't really a bass fisher, and he was more of a walleye, wanting to get fish that he could eat. So we used a lot of trolling tactics, like using bottom bouncers, using perch rigs, using all kinds of stuff like that. So I came really good with using live bait and kind of using those bigger rigs. And then there's stuff in here that I've also inherited. Like I got slip weights, We got like I got a whole compartment of like huge clips and swivels, and then some beads along with some more slip weights. I got some. These are part of what I've inherited, like some 3-ounce offshore or like big river anchor like weights, and then I got some classic spring bobber wire leader on. I think these are like size 6 hooks, size 6 base hooks on some wire leader. I got a bunch of slip bobbers. Now that actually would probably be a good video. I got the slip bobbers fishing for walleye, which is a very effective technique, and then also the old school, just some foam traditional bobbers. That used to be silver. Like, this looks really dirty. But yeah, weighted swim bait, which is a majority of what I use swim baits on. I tend not to use swim baits on unweighted hooks. I just feel a lot more comfortable knowing that the swim bait is at the bottom. I like bouncing them off the bottom, or I know I can rip it a little bit faster and keep it at a more consistent depth with it on there. So I'll just keep that in there. Like, I don't care. I could get into ice fishing, but you know, I'd rather just get ready for spring and get ready for turkey and coyote and all that good stuff. Alright, now my bass box. We're just chugging along here. Oh, okay, so my bass box, I got some, I guess, modified like cheapo shaky head jigs with craws. Some whatever brand, power bait probably, yeah, power bait craws. I got some green ones, like pumpkin ones. I got some blue ones, which I've caught more off these. And then obviously Cinco's, a couple trick worms, which I'll either Texas rig or I'll drop shot rig. And so I got a bunch of, you know, Texas rig hooks, some spinnerbait, random spinnerbait, and then some drop shot hooks, some actually really big drop shot hooks, the smaller ones, then some pretty heavy drop shot weights. I'll probably need to get some smaller ones. And then I got frog, natural, and then black frog. Pretty classic go-to bass box. Okay, so in my soft bait box, I have various Cinco colors, blue and there's actually one I found at a part. So a blue one, like blue flake, and then again these little fish jig things that I don't think they'll work. And then I got some shad swim baits. Here's one on a unweighted swim bait hook. And then I got these kind of swim baits, weighted, which these probably don't need the weighted. So I'll take the weight off there and I'll put all the unweighted hooks on these because these are a lot denser, a lot heavier. These have sunk a little bit more readily. And then I got some more jigs. Here's a jig that I got a ribbon tail worm on. Caught fish on here. And then I have some other jigs with creatures and craws in there. And then I got a couple of spins. And that's a janky looking spinner bait, but nonetheless. I got the nice little Colorado and Indiana blade on there. Pliers. Skizzers. Alright, and that's pretty much the rundown for what's in my tackle box. Actually, I got a couple rods back there. I'll show you guys those. But before that, run all that out of a backpack, which I have to completely stuff all that to get it into the backpack. And then in the bottom, my little bottom chair, I got some craws, red worms, more craws, blue craws, and then black craws. Yeah, so a bunch of craws and then and then a pack of worms. And those are my spare, still in the bags, soft baits. I'll go over here, take a little journey. Over here, nothing special. These are actually the only rods I have right now. I promise I will get more. I have a Abu Garcia Black Max that I got at Meyer for $50. And that's running 20-pound braid. And I have a Shakespeare spinning rod that I got for $15 for my birthday. Yeah. My aunt gave me this for my birthday. And that's running what is this? I think it's 14-pound mono on here. So nothing really special. Yeah. I think that should do it. I think actually that'll do it. That'll do it for this video. How long has this been going? This has been going for way too long. All right. Hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you soon. So you stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.